a Mississippi Gamer Society Board Time Things production.
That really surprises me that you didn't like Hollow Knight, because everything I've seen of it, all the things I've watched play on it, it seems like it'd be up your alley.
I've tried it 3 times now, and I don't know. I just
don't like it.
Maybe it's just too big. I had that. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I had that.
Stop it, Zach. I'm not going to.
Southern Fried Gaming.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Southern Fried Gaming, formerly known as Bargain Bin Buddies. This is a gaming podcast hosted by an ensemble of friends, gaming associates, and maybe more. While we're still going to talk about games from the bargain bin, we're opening up the conversation to a variety of topics. In this episode, we've picked a few categories from the Game Award nominees. We're going to discuss what titles we think should take the win. Tonight, I'm joined by regulars JB and Mike, and introducing a new regular. You've known him from the last episode, and we'll eventually get to his bargain bin episode. It is Zach. Welcome back to the podcast. I have missed you guys.
Yeah,
missed you too.
Glad to be back.
It has been too long since we've done a bargain bin, buddies. Everybody got too busy.
I guess maybe we dug too deep in the bin.
We got lost in the bin.
Well, to be fair, the last bargain bin buddies that we were doing, I think might have strained some of our friendships a little bit.
I still plan on doing an episode on that one. But
I think we needed a cooling off period.
We played Chain together with Jason, Zach, and my brother Dylan. And Dylan has not been on the podcast yet, but he was going to do this as a special guest episode while we waited for people to get back to a regular schedule. And our regularly scheduled schedules are not so regular anymore. So we're changing up the format.
Roll with it.
We've gone off-road.
We have definitely gone off-road. But like I said, we're going to be talking about the Game Awards this time, and I've chosen a few categories. Gosh dang, I'm choking on my own spit here. Chosen a few categories. We've got Best Art Direction, Best Narrative, Best Score and Music, Best Ongoing Title, Best Debut Indie, Best Multiplayer, Content Creator of the Year, and Game of the Year. Let's get started with Best Art Direction. The nominees for this are Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yote, Hades 2, and Hollow Knight Silksong. Take it away, whoever.
So before we started, we did have a little bit of a debate on what we were considering to be the art direction. So from my standpoint, we were talking about it. I was thinking, how detailed is the art? How much art is there? And then it was actually brought up by Caleb that technically a lot of these, the different factors that we were looking at aren't actually like art. They are like models and things that they're doing scans of, and they're doing these deep, in-depth things, but the actual world itself is not actually being artistically driven. So my vote was going to be for Expedition 33 just because that's the one I had the most experience with out of them, and I just thought it looked gorgeous. So I was going to go with Expedition 33.
And that's exactly where I was kind of going to, was Expedition 33. And then, like Caleb brought up, was, Hades 2, Hollow Knight, stuff like that. They had a lot more creative, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
Like just actual creative artwork in there versus like he was talking about 3D models and stuff like that. But I think I still am sitting with 33.
I will say, by the time this podcast is being recorded, the Golden Joystick Awards have already happened, and Clair Obscur Expedition 33 won every single category it was nominated in. So,
well, thanks for telling me that, because I had not watched any of that. I didn't know.
Yes.
Yeah, we haven't seen none of that yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Spoilers.
Guys, gotta get with it.
Spoilers, Caleb.
No. Game of the Year or Game Awards is totally different than the Golden Joysticks. Totally different.
Yes. But knowing that the Golden Joystick was won by Clair Obscur,
I don't know what categories they had.
makes it a little less obscure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe
have
now
any of
it's
you
time
guys-
for Expedition 34.
What games in this category have any of you guys actually played? I don't want to put anyone on the spot. I'll be honest. I've only played Clear Obscure Expedition 33 out of all of these.
None of these.
I don't want to talk about it.
I know
I've
I
played
know
none
of
of them.
all of these, and I know the hype around a few are real. I've seen them being played.
Yeah.
Art is subjective. Claire Obscure, phenomenal writing, great visuals. Death Stranding, it is just a wild ride. From everything I've seen, that game just looks insane. Ghost of Yote, serene countrysides, stylish violence. You can put different color filters and everything over your game. I was talking to them beforehand. There's even like a Samurai Champloo filter that changes all your music
That's cool.
to like lo-fi hip-hop beats.
That's pretty cool.
Hades 2, it's been in development for a while. Hand-drawn graphics, everything. It's a
I love
really
the first
successful follow-up to the first Hades, which I played for the first time this year. I am not a roguelike guy, so that may influence my decisions tonight. So if I had to pick a game, for best art direction, I'm going to go Hollow Knight Silksong. I'm a sucker for the hand-drawn look. Everything in that game was hand-drawn originally, I believe. And it is just meticulously handcrafted. That's what I'm going with.
Okay. And like I
Not to
said,
say
I'm
the others are bad or anything.
yeah, like honestly, I don't believe any of our decisions are saying any other one is bad. It's just a higher
Mine is.
preference.
Yeah.
Only Expedition 33 is worth doing. That's my opinion. No, but yeah, no.
The rest are trash.
All the rest are trash. No, I'm with you on that. Like it's just out of the ones that I've seen, because I haven't played them this year because they're all on my to be played, or most of them are on my to be played. But like I've watched a lot of Hollow Knight. I've watched some Death Stranding 2. I've watched the Clear Obscure, and watched people playing through these, and I like all the things that I'm seeing. I'm just, as far as the art on it, that was kind of my thought was the Expedition 33 just was a really gorgeous world and really well done.
Yeah, I would personally say I definitely don't have much to go off of here because I haven't played any of these games. I'm familiar with them all, but Expedition 33, honestly, I am the least familiar with. And so that one, take that with a grain of salt. That if I were more familiar, maybe it would be my pick. But I have not played Hades 2, but like Caleb, I'm not really a roguelike guy. Don't really do that much, but I tried out the first Hades and fell in love with it. And was like, well, have I been just missing out or playing the wrong roguelites or what? Like, I loved the first Hades. I loved the art. I loved the story. I loved the music, the gameplay, everything about it. So I've kind of kept up with Hades 2's development. I just haven't actually played the game myself yet. And so being that that's the one I'm most familiar with, and I do genuinely love the art direction of it, that would probably be my vote.
Okay.
So we've got one vote Hollow Knight, one vote Hades 2.
And
Zach,
2
what
votes
you
for
going with?
33.
2 for 33.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was typing things. All right, so I'm so off my podcast groove.
Aren't we all? Aren't we
like
all?
I said, we're off-roading now. We're hitting the sticks, okay?
Yeah, it's Southern Fried Gaming, man.
Exactly.
We're just going off-roading.
I mean, we're going to hit mud holes. We're going to have to get out and push. As long as we got a cooler, we're fine.
Now we're going to have to play Mud Runner at some point.
So next category is best narrative. So first we have Clear Obscure, Expedition 33. Then we have Death Stranding 2, On the Beach. What?
Stepping on the beach.
Then we have Ghost of Yote, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and Silent Hill F. So, everyone, who told the best story?
I don't know any of the stories, though.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to say. If you are not emotional by the end of the first 20 minutes of Clair Obscur Expedition 33, you need to see a psychiatrist. That game,
No.
the writing is fan-freaking-tastic.
Caleb, I see a psychiatrist because I'm emotional. What do you mean?
Wrong direction, JV. Wrong direction.
Does anyone understand the story of Death Stranding?
No.
Anyone who's even played... I think the people who play that game don't even understand this.
I was about to say, I don't think anyone does. Kojima's got a crazy mind.
What I've seen of Kingdom Come, it looks like a very well-written game. Silent Hill is the one I know probably the least about. And I say that. I don't know much about the story of Ghost of Yote. So given that I only know Clair Obscur, Death Stranding, and Kingdom Come, I'm going to have to give this to Clair Obscur. E33, baby.
Personally, I would probably give this to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 because I have a couple buddies that I've been talking to about the Kingdom Come games recently, and they've got me quite interested in checking them out because, you know, I'm a sucker for medieval fantasy and the like. I know that, you know, Kingdom Come is not like high fantasy, it's just more medieval, true medieval. But
yeah,
I've seen, you know, I've watched some gameplay, been shown some stuff by these friends, and like they've told me about some of the story elements and stuff, and it seems like something I would really enjoy because, you know, I'm a big stickler for like highly detailed combat and stuff, you know. Like I just really like to be immersed in a game, and this sounds like the kind of game that really immerses you in it. So I would go with that based on what I know of that compared to not much known about the others, admittedly.
respectable choice.
And honestly, I have no play of any of these games. So really, I don't know any of the story behind them. So really, I cannot give any one of them a vote on it because I don't know the story behind them.
Respectable as well, because if you don't know what you're voting for,
exactly, I'm not going to sit here and give a vote for a game when I don't know what. I mean, I've seen gameplay of E33. I've seen like some things of Kingdom Come Deliverance, but it's not enough to give me any type of story or narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. These are all, like I said, these are on my to be played list, but I just haven't had time. So I'm in the same undecided boat for best narrative. I will say from the story, like from the stuff I've watched, E33 has had a really good story on the things I've watched. But again, I haven't watched the story all the way through, and I really would like to see the first 20 minutes since it makes you emotional, and I need to know if I'm a sociopath or not.
All right, so I think we're going to call that on best narrative. We've got 1 vote E33, 1 vote Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and 2-0. So that is respectable. If you don't know what you're voting for, don't vote. Don't just pick parties and vote that way, guys. Anyways, Mike, take us to the next category.
This motherfucker was spitting.
Can't just drop that bomb and then just roll on like that, Caleb. You got to give that one a moment to marinate.
We talk video games here, sir.
Yeah. Coming off him spitting those facts, we're going to go into best score and music. And your options to vote on are going to be Christopher Larkin for Hollow Knight, Silk Song, Darren Korb from Hades 2, and Lorien Testard from E33, Toma Ottawa if I'm saying that correctly, from Ghost of Yotai, and Woodkid and Ludwig Forcebell. Or Forcell? I can't read. Okay, yeah. From Death Stranding 2. So, I was at the start before we got to recording, I had listened to the soundtracks of each one of these, kind of skipping here and there. And I was almost dead set on Hollow Knight Silk Song. I was just because of the way it was. Hades 2 had some really good music in it, and it's the style of music is really unique for Hades 2. You really had to just listen to it. I can't explain exactly how it is. Like, for the type of game it is, it would be perfect. Then E30 Expedition 33, I love orchestral music. I love large orchestras. I love all that. But what sold it was Caleb throwing in a link to a song that I hadn't listened to, and it had a lot of metal, I guess you would say, mixed in with the classical orchestra. And pretty much I'm dead set now. I'm going for Expedition 33 on this one.
Yeah, so I'm in the same boat. I didn't do nearly as much research on score and music because there's a lot of different songs from all of these different things. So I was kind of clicking around. I liked what I was hearing from Hades too. I thought that it was, for a score. Granted, I don't really know much about music because that's not really my specialty. But Caleb did drop in an absolute banger into the chat, and so it's like, well,
swayed the vote.
You did. You poisoned the well a little bit there, Caleb. You were not equally supportive of all of the scores and all of the music, but it doesn't really matter. Our votes are only one against many for the Game of the Year stuff. So, and this podcast doesn't actually impact the voting. So
we don't have an impact.
I will say
what.
I will say I have gone and listened to. I've listened.
You guys are getting paid.
I'm out of here.
I've listened to a lot of music from all
my
these
driver.
games to prep for this podcast, and Hollow Knight, it's got a unique sound. Hades has a unique sound. Ghost of Yotai, they have lots of different music for all the different vibes you can choose from, but it's really good. Of course, Death Stranding 2, its soundtrack is wild and all over the place, but I gotta give it to Lorien Testard, however you say his name. I'm not French, I apologize. You just open that game and you're on the menu screen. The menu music is epic. How he do that? But I'm looking at his credits, and this looks to be, and I could be wrong on this, it looks to be his first game composition, and that is wild to me because there are 100 and, what was it on Spotify? I want to say it was about 114 individual tracks, and they're all bangers. You got epic, symphonic metal one moment, you got the most saddest, depressing, operatic ballad something, and then you start fighting large kestrel things, and all of a sudden you're like at an aquatic nightclub. I don't know what this game's music was trying to do, but it did it well. It did it very well. And even if you're just listening to the soundtrack, you can tell, hey, this moment's supposed to be sad, this moment's supposed to be epic, this is a fun moment. It's top tier, and I'm not just glazing the game. They did something special with the soundtrack. That is one of the reasons this game, I believe, is as well as received as it was. The story was great, but had it not been for the accompanying soundtrack, I don't think it would have been as good as it was. So I'm going E33 again.
I will personally abstain from voting because I haven't listened to the music from these games. I will say, from my experience with the previous Hollow Knight and Hades games, that they did have fantastic music in them, and like these guys have already said, they're very unique sounds. But if I were to vote, if I were to actually listen to these scores and cast a vote, I would probably be in the same boat as what everybody else is saying, because I too enjoy epic orchestral music and am a big metalhead. So if there's that to be found, that probably would have swayed me as well. But I'm not going to base off of what I am being told and cast a vote recklessly. So I will abstain.
And that brings us to the next category. JB, take it away.
All right, so next up, we are looking at the best ongoing game, awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. We have the nominees Final Fantasy XIV, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, Marvel Rivals, and No Man's Sky. So, surely we're going to have thoughts on these, right? I know I've got
Fortnite.
some
It's the only game anyone ever talks about, right?
Right? It's Fortnite. It's always Fortnite. Come on.
Leaving this podcast.
I'm out.
Fortnite, best game ever. All other games, dookie.
Yeah. So we prior to when we were doing our initial discussions and stuff, everyone kind of had thoughts on all these different things. One of mine was that Final Fantasy XIV still being in the best ongoing is there for a reason, because it's been around for a very long time and it's an MMO.
Mm-hmm.
It's strictly one of those things that it really would not normally be still going in these best ongoing, because typically MMOs, like they fall off very quickly after, like they'll get some traction after an expansion and then they'll fall off.
Mm-hmm.
One of Final Fantasy XIV's best aspects is that it's kind of designed to weather that. The designers and the company have outright come and said, we don't want people to fall behind whenever they're not playing. But it's like, okay, you come in, you do your progression, and then you get bored, you just cancel your subscription, and then you come back whenever you're ready to play, and you're not 6 months behind if you take a 6-month break. You have content to do, but you don't have 6 months of grinding materials and the daily quests and all those things to do to catch back up. You're right where you were, and so you just have to kind of level up to get to your content and stuff like that. But you're not actively like falling behind if you're gone for like 2 or 3 weeks. And that's one thing I really like about Final Fantasy. I've seen a lot of good things coming along with their content stuff. And I will say that I did see a lot of good things coming through for No Man's Sky. So like it was one of those that had a ton of potential when it was first being launched. A lot of people were saying really good things during the betas for it, and then it just kind of flopped at the very beginning because it was just the same stuff over and over and over. It was very grindy, and they've fixed a lot of things. They've changed a lot of things. They've added in a bunch of different base building and exploration things, and you get to build out these massive cruisers. And like one of the latest ones was that they could add a Corsair class cruiser, and that thing is massive. Like it's a lot of really cool stuff they've been adding to that. So that was kind of like my secondary, which is like No Man's Sky. But I'm still Final Fantasy XIV still being in the best ongoing is because they are actively still putting a lot of effort into making it fun and making it to where it's something that is perennial, where you're coming back to it even after you've taken a break from it, just because there's always more for you to explore and do.
I think Zach likes Final Fantasy XIV a little bit.
I think so. Yeah. Just a little bit.
Yeah, I've never played Final Fantasy XIV myself. I know that it is one of those kind of games, though, that like if you're into it, you are into it. And I can't deny what Zach's saying, though, about the fact that it is still in being nominated for Best Ongoing. That says a lot all on its own. So that's a fair point. But I personally, I've played most of these games aside from that one, and I would I would have to give it to No Man's Sky personally because of the fact that it didn't have much going for it at launch. It's not riding on the back of its prior successes like Fortnite or a big name like Marvel Rivals. And again, that's not to just poo all over those games because they are both good games. But No Man's Sky it has to stand on its own, and when it launched, it did not. But the fact that it has come so far from a rocky launch and is still being supported and has become a game that people genuinely love and have a lot of great content to enjoy, to me that's a love that's a labor of love, you know.
Agreed.
Yeah, I see exactly what you're saying with that. And I guess just to segue with me, I have not played Final Fantasy 14, but for all the hype it just got, and before we started recording, I want to play it now. So I guess it would be ongoing. But I've played Fortnite, Helldivers 2, Marvel Rivals, and I mean, I get it. The people that like those games and love them, that's all for them. I would not throw a vote in for any of those three. Because I played Helldivers 2, got it, played it for a while, and ended up, I think I refunded the game. But Marvel Rivals, I mean, it's kind of the same for me. It was, I mean, I played it, got into it for a little while there. It was fun. But I mean, when you strip away Marvel characters from the thing, it's, it's just your regular old hero shooter. I mean, it's the same, but it is fun to play as Marvel characters. That is what they have going for them.
Right.
And then the same thing that was said for No Man's Sky. It's like it started out bad. Like I remember the hype for it. I remember it came out and then it just, I mean,
it did not deliver.
It literally was No Man's Sky because nobody wanted it. And then for them to have come, like you said, to have come that far from being dogged on and just hated on for after they were released and have come this far to now being nominated as best ongoing game. I mean, I'm probably going to end up throwing my vote into No Man's Sky. And that's but I am going to give Final Fantasy 14 a try sometime eventually. Just because of the hype.
Well, for me, I couldn't decide between two of them. So here goes. Helldivers 2 was really fun at start. Someone actually gifted it to me so I could play with them. That's how much people were wanting to play this game. And I played it for a bit. My PC was not powerful enough to it, but I played it for a bit and then stopped because I was scared my PC was going to die. And then it got hit by the controversy of the PlayStation Store network being shut down in other countries and not being able to access it without linking your government ID and all this and that. And the game started, dying off until the beginning of this year when they opened it up it lost its PlayStation exclusivity and opened up to Xbox consoles when the player base saw new life. People were jumping in. They were trying to relive the glory days of Malevolent Creek. And the memes came back and it was glorious. However, I did not play that game this year. I am saddened to say, and I kind of hate myself a little bit, that the best ongoing game, a game that I've actually had a lot of fun playing with, letting my daughter watch, and it hurts to say this, I spent money on this game this year. Fortnite.
No, it's over. We're done. The podcast is over.
That's it. The band
when they dropped the
K-pop
Demon Hunters stuff, my daughter loves Rumi.
All right.
I spent money on
You got me back.
Okay,
you got me back.
Okay, I'm okay. I forgive you.
Right. My daughter is also obsessed with K-pop Demon Hunters, and I also
And-
enjoyed it, so that's fair.
I goofed
son
because
loves it.
I didn't know that. I knew like on most Xbox games you can play and then you can sign in as a guest account and it'll just like duplicate all your stuff. Fortnite does not allow that, so I basically bought K-pop Demon Hunters stuff from my account. And nobody else gets it. So,
Yeah.
but I would be lying if I didn't say that I really enjoy the other modes. I'm not a very competitive person. So rocket racing, it's competitive, but it's kart racing basically. I like a good kart racer, and that one's pretty fun. And you can do a full race in about 3.5 minutes at the most. So it's easy for quick sessions. I love survival games. Not enough people play it. Lego Fortnite is absolutely fan-freaking-tastic. Fan-freaking-tastic. And I know back in 2023, Epic acquired Harmonix and basically put Rock Band inside of Fortnite, and I've had fun playing and unlocking songs in that. I'm not afraid to admit it anymore. I like Fortnite for everything that it's doing outside of Battle Royale, I guess. So
you like
that's my vote,
Fortnite?
unfortunately.
All I heard was I like Fortnite. Disgusting.
Well, I just heard though. I mean, after he explains it, I said I like Fortnite when it doesn't have to play Fortnite.
Right.
Yeah. Good.
That's pretty much what I heard too.
No, I'll be honest though. Like, I have to agree with most of what Caleb's saying there. Though, like, my daughter likes to play Fortnite. We haven't played it in a little while, but like, me and her have a good time playing it. Lego Fortnite is a fantastic survival game, as Caleb said, and I'm a big survival game guy too. So love that. And yeah, just when Fortnite's not Fortnite, it's fantastic. But honestly, I'll admit that me and my daughter, we even play zero build sometimes, and that's fun. So,
And I think today is the final day for the Springfield map. And I gotta say, whoever's idea it was to have people running around Springfield with machine guns and rocket launchers and stuff, that is an odd combo. I never thought that, Battle Royale and The Simpsons were a good match. So yeah, that was odd. Just throwing that out there.
that's kind of the definition of Fortnite, though. Is that's odd.
Next map's going to be Quahog.
Yeah.
Oh no. Giggity. Anyways, best debut indie game. This is for the best debut game created by a new independent studio. The category nominees are Blueprints by Dagobah / Raw Fury. Wait a minute, Raw Fury. That had to be the publisher because that is already. Anyways, Claire Obscure Expedition 33 with Sandfall Interactive, Kepler Interactive. Sandfall was the development studio, I believe, on that one. Despelote by Julian Cordero, Sebastian Valbuena, and Panic. And Dispatch by Ad Hoc Studio. I want to give a quick shout out to Vetinad, the developer of Megabonk. He was originally nominated. Megabonk was originally nominated for Best Debut Indie Game. One of the best games to come out this year. If you haven't played Megabonk, give that guy your money and play Megabonk. But he said it wasn't fair that he was nominated because he had developed other games and released them under different studio names, so he withdrew his nomination. Play Megabonk.
Well, that's really that's really good of him.
Yeah, that's a really cool move of him. I will personally say though, like, kudos to him for doing that and giving other people a chance. But I think that's not really the point of the category best debut indie game. Is like, I guarantee you that none of these other developers here that this is their first game.
And that's what I was thinking.
And
if
so,
you take that into consideration, Claire Obscure is famously from ex-Ubisoft devs. Dispatch is from ex-Telltale and Ubisoft devs. Mm-hmm. I know very little about Despelote. And Blueprints, I think, started as a single dev. I could be wrong on that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I definitely appreciate what the Megabonk developer did there. Very cool move of him. But I feel like he still deserved to be there.
Yeah,
if he didn't want to, that's his own prerogative, you know?
Yeah, I think he went by the definition of the category, not the spirit of the category,
Right.
because it's for the best debut game created by a new independent studio. So if his new independent studio had not created something, then technically the this is what the category was for. But I understand the reason why you step back, and honestly, I think it's especially in this day and age where everybody's looking for anything to get their name out there and their games out there and to get any kind of good publicity. These gaming award shows, a lot of times people don't really pay as close of attention as they should to these gaming award shows, but it does bring out things like I'd never seen blueprints before we started looking at this. And so that it introduces you to new games and categories that you like, but that you might not have heard of because it didn't pop up on your Steam page or on just any of the blasts that you get. So
my vote would go to Mega Bonk, but if I had to pick something in this category, I would probably give it to Dispatch. I've heard a lot of cool things about some stuff in the studio, and I've heard nothing but praise for the game itself. I've heard it is like top tier Telltale style game, and I am hoping to play it this upcoming month. Maybe stream it. Who knows?
Yeah, honestly, I think Clear Obscure Expedition 33 probably is going to get a lot of votes from just outside of this group. So honestly, I think it's a really good game. But when I started looking into it, so Dispatch looked really cool, but Blueprints is a strategy puzzle / adventure game. I couldn't find I didn't have a chance to look at any playthrough on it, but it looks really interesting. So I think as far as a debut indie game that might be something unique, Blueprints kind of brings something to the table that you don't see very often being popular, popping up in these kind of categories.
The reason I chose Dispatch over Blueprints is because the roguelite elements of Blueprints turn me off of it. I like everything else.
Gotcha.
I do not like the roguelite elements. But maybe I'm just a hater. I totally need to get good. So
yeah.
I personally would I would echo a lot of what Caleb says. First of all, Megabonk would be my pick. Thank you, Caleb, for turning me on to that fantastic game, by the way.
Heck yeah.
But but without Megabonk being an option, I also would pick Dispatch basically for all the same things Caleb said about it, as well as just I'm honestly not familiar with Blueprints or Despelo. And but also I know that a lot of the Critical Role cast were involved with Dispatch, and I love those guys. So that gives me a little bit more sway in that direction too.
Speaking of Critical Role, and this is sidebar, and it could just be totally fake, but I read that Ad Hoc was about to go under and not be able to finish the game, even though they were working on it nonstop, but they were about to have to file for bankruptcy. According to what I read, Laura Bailey, or is it Laura Bailey?
Laura.
Anyways, Laura Bailey, yeah. She's one of the voices in the game. I think one of the main characters, I'm not sure. But she's with Critical Role, of course, very famously. I think that's one of her most accredited credits. I butchered that sentence. Anyways, she got Critical Role involved, and they funded the rest of the development. And in the 5 weeks that this game has been released, or 6 weeks at this point now, I think, it met its 3-year sales goal in 4 weeks.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the exact story regarding Critical Role's involvement with the funding, but I do know that they definitely were involved to some extent. I know that because I just watching Critical Role and hearing them talk about the game. I know that they did back it in some form or another, and I know that they also were talking about that they are going to be putting out a video game at some point, and I think it was going to be with Ad Hoc Studio.
Very nice.
Yep. I just went, as you were talking about it, I was just diving in to see what actually they did. And it seems like their investors, Ford Dispatch, pulled out and Critical Role stepped in and gave them some crucial funding to finish it. And because of that, they're partnering up, and Ad Hoc is now developing a game for Critical Role as well.
Heck
I would
Good
love
guy,
to see
Critical
that
Role.
too. And by the
gotta
way,
love when you
little
see- you hear
sidebar,
stuff
Laura
like that.
Bailey you were talking about is one of the main characters. But
Okay.
she was born in Biloxi.
Really?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
I
Nice.
did not know that.
Mississippi
Did not know that.
represent.
Yeah, that was like one where I was looking up all the people from Critical Role in season 1. I was like, that's awesome.
That is
And
really
it's
cool.
never mentioned anywhere except for her Wikipedia page.
Yeah, she is also married to Travis Willingham, who
Yeah.
is the CEO of Darrington Press, their TTRPG company. Love that guy too.
He is fantastic. Yes.
So best indie game goes to Mega Bonk and Laura Bailey. Got
Yes,
Yes.
that's exactly it.
100%.
it. Next category.
Let's go.
Our next category is Best Multiplayer. Our current contenders are Arc Raiders, Battlefield 6, Elden Ring Night Reign, Peak, and Split Fiction. I would like to note, we discussed this before as well, this is a really diverse category. So normally for multiplayer, when people think multiplayer, they've just thought like the battle royale, first person shooter, third person shooter games. And you're sitting here we have Arc Raiders, which is the extraction, scavenging, survival kind of game. Battlefield 6, which is the battle royale. Elden Ring Night Reign, which again I don't know what that one actually looks like, but it's Elden Ring, which is kind of that fantasy open world in Elden Ring. So Night Reign is going to be something along those lines with kind of the fantasy. Peak, which has absolutely nothing to do with fighting and everything to do with falling off of things and dying with your friends. And then Split Fiction, which is like It Takes Two, but where you're going through these different authors' worlds. Like, it is a really diverse field for this one.
You say Peak has no fighting, but whenever I play that, I'm fighting with myself the entire time.
Yeah. I'm fighting with my will to live whenever I play Peak. I guess that may just be the
when we talk about friend slop games, and I did not get the appeal of Peak. I bought it at when it was really popular and people were playing it. I played a few rounds with Jason and Dylan and a couple other people. Dude, that is the most boring game I think I've played. Sorry to the dev. I get what you're going for, but I don't get it. I don't understand the appeal. I just don't. And that is the only game I've played on best multiplayer, so I can't really vote.
It's also the only game that I've played on here. But the one I want to win is Split Fiction. Because
after playing It Takes Two, Split Fiction's got to be great.
Yeah, I've watched some gameplay on it. It's on my wish list. It's going to be purchased, and my wife and I are going to play it at some point in the near future. But Split Fiction out of all of them, it brings a bunch of unique elements to things, a bunch of unique mechanics, and it feels fresh. Peak is fresh, but I don't feel like it brings in anything really unique to the category. I think, like you said, it's friend slop. The appeal of Peak isn't the game itself; it's the chaos and the friends you kill along the way.
Yeah, I get that.
Well, the only one I've played on this list is Battlefield 6. And I would say it's a good comeback for Battlefield because, I think everybody knows the debacle of Battlefield 2042 and just how bad it was received. And for them to be up for best multiplayer this year is...
It's quite a step in the right
I mean,
direction.
it's a step in the right direction. And I'll tell you,
that's a huge turnaround.
Right, big turnaround.
And like I said, it's a great game. I mean, I like playing it. It's better with people that because it's all about having the right mix of people. But even that, I haven't played any of the rest, so I'm not going to sit here and cast a vote for the only one I've played, because I've seen a lot about Arc Raiders and it looks good and fun. I just haven't had the ability to buy it and play it yet. So I'm just going to sit back on this one.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat there as you, Mike. Arc Raiders I've seen a bit about, and it looks really good. I haven't really gotten into extraction shooters before, but I've just heard so much good about this game, and from what I've seen, it looks fantastic. I just haven't tried it yet, but I do plan to at some point. But otherwise, Battlefield 6 is the only game here that I have actually played, and I will cast a vote for Battlefield 6 personally because I have played a lot of it, and I grew up playing a lot of Call of Duty and Battlefield and Halo, and just I was a big first-person shooter kid growing up. Kind of not so much these days with not having as much time for gaming as I used to, but Battlefield 6 did feel like a good return to form, after the debacle of Battlefield 2042. And, I always liked Battlefield more than Call of Duty growing up. Like, I loved Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4. I even really liked Battlefield 1. But, 2042 was a whole different story. Mm-hmm. And I played the beta for 2042 and had a bunch of buddies who were like, "Oh yeah, I'm pre-ordering the game. I'm gonna play the heck out of this." I played the beta and was like, "Are you sure about that?"
That was me.
I'm not buying this. This is terrible.
And
then it launched and was terrible, and I was like, "See, I told you. What are you thinking?" But yeah, but 6, as soon as they announced 6 and showed it to us, it looked promising. Then the beta came along, and it was like the most stable beta that Battlefield has ever done.
Yeah.
And not to say that it was perfect, but it was as close as Battlefield had ever gotten to a perfect beta. And the launch was relatively smooth too, and I've had a lot of good times with it. I do definitely agree with what Mike said though about it is one of those games that's much better played with people, particularly people Like, I like to play it by myself sometimes, but I'll get kind of bored after a little bit. If I'm just playing it by myself, I just kind of feel like I'm grinding.
Yeah.
But if I
even
get
just one other person,
right? If I can just get one other person to play it with, then we will get caught up in some shenanigans. From it just varies from moment to moment. It's one moment we're strapping C4 to the Jeep and trying to kamikaze a tank. Next moment, I'm camping, pretending I'm Chris Kyle, and then the next moment we are just full bum rushing the objective, like hyper serious. It's a lot of fun. So I like the return to form. I would not say it's as good as the older games, but it's definitely a step in the right direction, and it's pretty close to as good.
I've heard nothing but good things about it. I don't think I've heard literally any negatives about it from friends and all who've played it. So I think Battlefield 6 is a good vote. But that brings us to our next category. Mike, take it away.
Oh, okay. So,
Segue.
This next category is Segue, and we're here now. The next category is going to be Content Creator of the Year. And pretty much we've got 5 votes. 5 people we can vote for. We got, as far as I can pronounce his name, Cadril, I believe is how you pronounce it. And then you have Kai Sanat, you've got Moist Critical, you've got Sakura Miko, and then you have the Burnt Peanut. And we had a lot of discussions about this before we started, and a lot of us were kind of like, who are these people? Because, you know,
we're just old.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, is that, you know, we still enjoy actual media, you know, like TV series and stuff, and we're not constantly glued to whoever's on Twitch.
I'm all the time on
and
YouTube and stuff.
I mean, I use YouTube a lot, but not Twitch.
I mean, I've heard of Kai and I've heard of Moist Critical and Burnt Peanut, and pretty much, like, just with how my vote's going to probably go to the Burnt Peanut for this one, just because he kind of has blown up recently with the whole Arc Raiders, and he's pretty funny. Like, I mean, he's pretty funny just because it's a peanut with a face. I mean, that's funny to me.
And the facial expressions that go on the peanut, because it's like it's taking his eyes in his mouth. It's like where he like he'll be looking off to the side, and he just looks so ridiculous and so funny, and it's almost like, you know, that moment where your brain is loading and you get that vacant expression on your face. This is what it looks like all the time, and it's so funny. And
then he looks back at the camera and smiles, and then it's just like he's got good timing. Like, his content's got really good timing on it. But I that's probably where I'm going to be landing on this one, is the Burnt Peanut.
Respectable. Personally, I watch a lot of Moist Critical on YouTube. Usually when it comes to movie reviews or him talking about games, he's usually got pretty good takes. I know he does a lot of the drama stuff. I don't watch a lot of that, but I do know that when I do, I usually respect his takes. People call him YouTube Jesus. He's done some really cool music stuff this year with Nick Nocturnal, Andy Shazek. Was it Ryu? Is that who you said it was? Formerly?
Yeah.
I think he's currently with Gnosis.
Yeah, currently with Gnosis, formerly Crystal Lake. Ryu
Crystal Lake, yeah, I couldn't think of that. But I also am going to have to give it to the Burnt Peanut. This guy is just stupidity. And he's one of the most entertaining streamers I've seen in a long time. His fake beef with Dr. Disrespect is hilarious. The expressions he had. He's a freaking peanut with a face.
And the whole Arc Raiders, Bungulators.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, he is. I don't play Arc Raiders, so it doesn't affect me. But from the outside looking in, his feud with, is it Tfue, FaZe, whoever, Bungulators. People say streamers are ruining Arc Raiders now because it used to be a pretty friendly game, and now people are shooting on sight because of what they wear, because they identify with Bungulators or whoever the other factions are, and no other streamers really have that impact. I'm gonna have to give it to the Burnt Peanut. That is my vote.
I'm going with the Burnt Peanut mainly because I don't have a whole lot of exposure to any of the other ones. So I go with the guy who makes me laugh.
Well, I wish I could give the Burnt Peanut a 4 for 4 here, but I have honestly never even heard of this guy. So I feel like I'm missing out. I feel like I am just out of touch, and I am missing out.
A couple months ago, and he's just been showing up everywhere ever since I was.
Well, that's what I said. He really kind of blew. Like, he's been around, but he blew up with this Arc Raiders. Like, it's just been because I think too. You've had Cloaksy. He's been playing with him a lot. I think some other ones have played. I think Ninja's been playing with him. But also, like, the Burnt Peanut he's not a pro gamer like a lot of these people want to be or whatever. He's just on here. Like, he's good, but he's on here to make people laugh and have go off and go ham.
Yeah, I feel like I must be missing out on something here. I'm gonna have to check this guy out. But
Look up a burnt peanut
Do-
compilation after this.
due to me not being familiar with him, and the only other two names that I even recognize are Kai Cenat, who I don't really know much about. Never really watched any of his content. Just I don't know. I don't even know what kind of content he really makes.
You should have went to
But,
streamer college.
Right, apparently. And then Moist Critical. I'm not like the biggest fan of Moist Critical in the world, but I do think he's pretty entertaining. And like Caleb said, I don't really get into the drama stuff that he does, but anytime I have seen any of it, he does usually have a pretty respectable take.
He does have some of the best deadpan, say off the cuff intros that I've ever heard in my entire life.
Well, yeah, he's a pretty entertaining guy, and the music collabs that he's done this year, like Caleb was saying, fantastic. So I'm a fan of Charlie. I'll have to give it to him.
Solid.
And that brings us to the final category, Game of the Year. Before JB introduces these games of the year, I want to ask a question to everybody. Before we look at these nominees, did you guys have a game of the year of your own that probably didn't get nominated? Or what is your personal game of the year is a better way of wording that, even if it was nominated? If you played any new stuff.
I mean, that's kind of where I'm sitting at right now. I haven't really been able to play anything that's new. So I really don't have a pick for game of the year.
I'm actually looking through my library now to see if there's anything that was released this year.
That's exactly what I did too.
And
I started scrolling.
That's what I had to do.
I'm scrolling, and I don't think I've played anything that was released this year. My first half of my year, there was definitely nothing new on my list. So I didn't even start. My life did not begin until 6 months into the year.
Well, if I had chosen about 3 months ago, I would have said South of Midnight. I'm kind of bummed that didn't get nominated for best soundtrack or best narrative choice, something like that. That game's story was nice. It's really cool being in the South and everything. But my personal game of the year is going to be Abiotic Factor. That game ticks all the boxes for me. It's got that retro aesthetic. It is a survival crafting game. It has an awesome leveling system. And it's basically what if Half-Life, but you're a scientist and you just have to survive. You're in Black Mesa on the day of the event, except in this game it's called Gate. And just crap hits the fan. And it's your job to survive and figure out how to stop it. But it's got all the survival crafting staples of managing your hunger, your thirst. And in this one, you even have to poop. Kind of like, what's that dinosaur one? Ark.
Ark.
Yeah. But, yeah, that would be mine. Abiotic Factor. If you haven't played it, I recommend giving it a try. I believe it's currently on sale on Steam, Xbox, and all that jazz. It's on Game Pass. But I've also got some community game of the years. On Facebook, we've got James, who says for him, it's Ghost of Yotei. It had huge shoes to fill from Ghost of Tsushima, and it did not disappoint. From the Mississippi Gamer Society server, we've got our esports director, Roger, who originally voted for beloved Katamari Damacy until a couple days ago when a game called Captain Wayne came out. And I actually bought Captain Wayne the day it came out. That game is wild. It is crazy. And another of our esports team, Dr. Earthworm Robotnik, with Capcom Fighting Collection 2. And that's what we got for Game of the Year from everybody community-wise. If you'd like to talk video games, please be sure to leave us a comment on social media. Anywhere you find this podcast, leave us a follow, comment, whatever. We'll probably read it in the next episode. And if not, we'll get to it eventually, because we love you all. Thanks for listening this far. I know we ramble. So take it away, JB. Game of the Year.
All right. All right. Game of the year goes to Mega Bonk. That's it. That's an end of discussion. Honestly, though, like the only two new games that I've personally played this year are Mega Bonk and Battlefield 6. So it'd be between those two for me personally. But hey, they didn't get nominated. So who actually did? Game of the year for 2025. Our nominees are Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2 On the Beach, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silksong, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I mean, these are all stellar titles just off what anybody knows about any of them. But I haven't played any of them personally, so
the
I
main
don't know.
question
feels
is,
really out of place.
yeah,
it does.
how good is Donkey Kong to get nominated
It's gotta
for
be great.
Game of the Year?
It's got to be.
It's
I
got to
don't
be
know,
like
man.
the best Donkey Kong game ever.
I don't know,
to
man.
get nominated.
I feel like somebody was just like, we got to throw Nintendo a bone. Come on, don't leave them out.
Yeah,
Is
none
that,
of these other
really,
games.
is that really the only Nintendo title that was nominated? I know it's the only one nominated for the categories that we chose, but is that the only Nintendo nomination?
I'm pretty sure it's the only Nintendo
Yeah.
exclusive game nomination.
That's
yes.
wild.
Yeah,
I
I think
think
it's
it
the
was the
only Nintendo
only
exclusive.
Like,
Wow.
I mean,
we had No Man's Sky, which is available on Nintendo. A lot of these games are available for Nintendo, but that's
Yeah.
the only Nintendo exclusive title nominated across all categories.
I mean, I have heard that Bonanza is really good, but I don't know. I haven't played it, and I didn't really love Tropical Freeze, so I'm not that thrilled to like jump into another new Donkey Kong, honestly.
Bonanza is from the same team that did Mario Odyssey, so I was thinking there's no way it can't not be good.
True, that's a good point.
But this is the first 3D Donkey Kong game since Donkey Kong 64.
That feels really odd.
That's kind of crazy. That's
It's actually-
kind of crazy.
Want to know what's even
Wait.
crazier? It's the first Donkey Kong game made by Nintendo since Donkey Kong. Up until then,
That is wild.
Because Donkey Kong Country was made by Rare, and they did Donkey Kong 64 as well. And then when Retro Studios was done with the Metroid trilogy, Nintendo said they wanted them to try another Nintendo IP. So the Donkey Kong Returns and Tropical Freeze and everything were made by Retro. This is the first Donkey Kong game in a long time. I don't know. I say that. They may have done Jungle Beat. They may have done the music ones. But I feel like those were third party as well.
They seem very.
I remember when
third-party.
Nintendo used to lease out their franchises for stuff. That was some of my favorite Zelda games, the ones by Capcom. Minish Cap, Seasons, Ages. Anyways, sidetrack. Game of the year.
Fun fact.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's the fun fact?
Was the fun fact to call?
No. The fun fact was what he had said.
Oh.
Oh, I thought you were about to.
That was my bad. I chose improper timing to put that in there.
That was way funnier to the fact that you said fun fact, and we're all just like,
We're just
So what's
waiting.
the
Fun fact: sticks do break bones. Sticks and stones do break bones.
So E33 wins is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
From what I understand of the industry, and I've been kind of keeping up with stuff lately, I think it's going to. The only two that should really have been on this list that are going to get the amount of votes would be Hollow Knight and Clair Obscur.
Man,
I
Hollow
believe
Knight is
Expedition
largely
33 is
just
gonna
the
take it.
hype.
Oh, yeah.
People have been fiending to get their hands on Silk Song.
My vote's going to Expedition 33. It's the only one of these that I've truly played. This may be blasphemous to say, but I didn't like Hollow Knight that much. So I wasn't hyped for Silk Song at all. No, I love Metroidvanias. I like Blasphemous.
Shun the
is probably my
non-believer.
favorite one.
see,
Nine
that really
Years of
surprises me
Shadow.
that you didn't like Hollow Knight, because everything I've seen of it, all the things I've watched play on it, it seems like it'd be up your alley.
I know, and I've tried it 3 times now, and I don't know. I
Just don't like it.
Maybe maybe it's just too big. Because I had that. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Stop it. Stop it, Zach. Stop
it.
I'm not going to, but
I had that same.
but you know.
I had that same problem with Metroid Dread. Everybody's like, this is like the best like side-scrolling Metroid that has ever come out. Like, I love Fusion, I love Zero Mission, I love Super Metroid. Metroid Dread was too big, and I haven't completed it yet. Does that make me a
haven't even
terrible
started
person?
Dread.
Maybe. But
I own Metroid Dread, and I haven't even started it.
It's too big. You got to work your way up to it.
Right. You got to start small.
But yeah, I don't really care for turn-based RPGs anymore. I haven't really since high school. The last one I got super into was Baten Kaitos for the GameCube. Clair Obscur brought me back.
Caleb, I need you to rewind just a moment. Did you say that you haven't been a fan of turn-based RPGs?
Yeah.
Man, I thought we were friends. You can't just say stuff like that, man.
I'm gonna kind of be on the same page as Caleb there.
You guys are killing me.
Yeah. Well,
come on, man. Play some Dragon Quest.
Well, you got to think. That's some older. You're talking about the original, like Dragon Quest and everything.
No, Dragon Quest 11 was good, bro.
Older Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
this
one
is
thing
going
on
to
the
be
turn-based. I have terrible timing.
We all do.
I don't think it's so much timing as a delay. I think there's a delay in the audio when we're speaking.
I think we're finding the
this
caveat
podcast
with
is very
Riverside.
It's very Southern fried.
Yeah. I was going to say on the turn-based strategy stuff, one of the things I've seen about Clair Obscur is that because they brought back that turn-based strategy, it does, because they've got some reactionary stuff in there too, right? But it brought in the turn-based strategy so that you can actually, like, it's more inclusive to people who have either, physical disabilities, or maybe that they're not able to react as quickly, like they have some type of stimulus disorders, or even just that they're just not that good at games. Like, it's opened up for people to explore and do this world, but it lowered a barrier that a lot of games have just been continually trying to raise, because people say that it's too boring, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, this is too easy. I've got to do this. And so I did see, when I was looking through, I did see a lot of reviews where people said that, they have this or that disorder, and Clair Obscur Expedition 13 actually opened up a little bit for them because of the fact that not everything is like a Souls-based game where, like, you've got to be precise, you've got to dodge, you've got to block, you've got to parry, you've got to do all these things. It has those mechanics, but it also has a number of mechanics that are strictly, you like, it's not if you miss this thing at this right moment, you're automatically dead. I did see a lot of good notes about that.
Yeah. So what you're saying during the battles, and it is turn-based battles. You run into an enemy in the overworld, and then it brings you into a battle screen. Every enemy attack has a window that you can dodge, which is a little broad, then a super tight window where you could parry that attack. So there's 2 different ways of dodging. You can either jump over an attack or like move out of the way. Both are bound to a button. And parrying is bound to a different button, but the window for that is extremely tight. Now, there are different difficulty modes, and I'm guessing what you're saying with people with, who can't react as fast, you can play it on an easier difficulty, and it broadens those windows, and you would take less damage and all as well. So, and while that does sound novel and ideal, Legend of Dragoon did it first on the PlayStation 1, just saying.
Yes.
Don't want to throw it out there like it's the new coming-of-age game.
No. I wasn't meaning it that way. I was just saying that a lot of the reviews kind of pointed to that most games nowadays don't do that. They don't really worry about barrier for entry. So they really worry about, okay, I have a target audience. Can this audience play it? Cool. Will they enjoy it? Cool. Like that's their primary focus. And you missed your dodge, you missed your parry, whatever. Like you're not immediately dead. Is like what the comments said, and then they like the turn-based strategy part of it was that you don't have to hit 15 attack buttons in a row to get a combo to get this. It's not all about timing. It's sometimes it's just about deploying your resources correctly, choosing things, and that was just off of the turn-based strategy part, that the turn-based RPG part that came out. I was like, oh yeah, that was something I dread.
I only have one complaint with the game so far. About an hour, 2 hours in, I'd say about 2 hours in, you get the ability to jump. It kind of introduces battle mechanics slowly to you, kind of drip feeds them to you, so you're constantly doing something new. And jumping is a new form of dodging, where like if something's gonna attack your feet, you jump. The very first boss after that has an attack that looks like you can jump over it. And I kept dying. Jump was not used in that boss fight at all.
Ooh.
So I'm going to have to take a point off for that. But Clair Obscur is going to be my vote here. I don't see any other thing taking home the win except for maybe Hollow Knight because of the hype. All these games are probably amazing, but that's what I got.
Yeah. I agree, Caleb. Megabonk is game of the year.
It is.
Yeah, I think my prediction's going to be Clair Obscur, just from what I've seen and heard, and that's going to be my prediction.
All right. What do you guys think? The Game Awards are going to be on December 11th. This episode, I'm hoping, comes out Monday, Tuesday at the latest. So hopefully you're hearing it on a Monday or Tuesday and before the Game Awards. If not, we tried. But anyways, that's all I've
definitely recorded in time.
We did record in time. But that's all I've got. Welcome to Southern Fried Gaming. We haven't forgotten about Bargain Bin Buddies because our next episode is going to be a Bargain Bin Christmas, and I haven't told these guys about it yet, so we're going to plan that soon.
Okay.
So I'll catch you guys in the next episode.
See you
Later.
Peace out.